Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast. As usual, I'm here with Regina. Regina, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Fine. Enjoying the good spring weather?
Yes, finally.
Yeah, finally. The snow is melting. Happiest time of the year, I think. When finally winter is over. Um, so if you're joining us for the first time, my name is Brandon. I'm a teacher here from the USA. This is Regina. She's the director of choice. So hello again. If you haven't watched the first two episodes, they're also available to watch. So go back, watch them. Um, but today, what's our topic, Regina?
Today I'm going to interview you.
Interview me.
Yes,
Yeah. Go ahead.
about life in Russia.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people ask questions how how do you live in Russia and so on. And so I think for people it will be interesting, especially not just in Russia, but in Chelyabinsk. Because, for example, living in Moscow, living in St. Petersburg, and living in Chelyabinsk, there are three different things in this.
Yeah, but I could say before the interview begins, I've traveled a lot in Russia, so I've been to a lot of cities, maybe more cities than a lot of Russian people. So I've been to Moscow, St. Petersburg, of course, Sochi, Novosibirsk, Yekaterinburg, Samara, Izhevsk, Ulyanovsk. Maybe I'm forgetting something. And I can say personally that Chelyabinsk is my favorite city in Russia. So maybe St. Petersburg is probably my favorite city in Russia, but Chelyabinsk I think is my favorite city for living. Like just when they're always try to like look at how everything is, and I think Chelyabinsk the best city in Russia. Probably people from Chelyabinsk are like rolling their eyes right now, but me as a person that's not from Chelyabinsk, maybe I see Chelyabinsk a little bit differently. You're from Chelyabinsk. What's your opinion? I'll interview you in the beginning.
I think it's the best city in the world.
Best city in the world? Yeah.
Yes, because for if we're talking about living, our city is not so big, so the transportation doesn't take a long time. You can get from one part of the city to another part of the city by car for like 15-20 minutes. Of course, we have traffic in the morning, but it's not so crazy.
Yeah, it's nothing compared to.
Yeah, nothing compared to Moscow. It has good facilities. It has universities. It has good schools and so on. It has cultural part. Uh, Also, it's industrial city, so people can always find the job and so on. So I think it's a good city to live.
Yeah, I agree with you. Um, so the population of Shalab is 1.2 million people, about, and I think that's a good size for a city. So it's big enough where you have all the infrastructure that you need. So we have good roads, wide roads, no traffic, like you said. All the shopping centers, sports venues. There's concerts here, curling. As this big hobby of mine. So it has everything we need. Plus, you can be out of the city. It's 20 minutes. So, we live in the center of the city and we can be out of the city in 20 minutes. And the nature around Chelyabinsk is great. Lakes everywhere, mountains, good weather in the summer, terrible weather in the winter, but
But for people who like winter, for example, for them it's good to have cold winter, snow, because for people who like skiing,
yeah. Yeah.
skateboarding, and so on.
Yeah, I often with friends. So there's a train deal from the train station to Sunny Valley, which is a local ski resort in the mountains. You can be in Sunny Valley in 45 minutes or an hour or something. Go snowboarding all day and be back in Chelyabinsk by 6 p.m. So perfect.
Mm.
So all right. So you have some questions for me. I haven't seen any of these questions, so this is gonna be, I'm gonna be put on the spot here.
Okay.
So fire away. Let's hear it.
So question number one. What was the first thing that made you think, okay, I'm definitely not in the USA anymore? Except the airport.
Yeah, the Air Force signs all in Russian. Taxi drivers speaking Russian when I arrive. Um, so I moved here 13 years ago. So now I'm pretty much adapted to life in Russia. But I can say maybe the first thing that like understood was the grocery stores, the food. So because in the U.S. we have huge supermarkets. Now we have them here in Russia as well. But so when I moved here 13 years ago, there weren't a lot of big supermarkets, and when you would go into the little shops, they just didn't sell. They didn't have the big variety of food that I was used to. It was, and furthermore, everything was in Russian. So you know what's common to eat in Russia, like for snacks and for stuff like that, completely different. So oh, but now that I think about it, maybe the first time where I was like, oh my god, um, some friends came over to my apartment to drink beer, and they're like, "Oh, we'll bring the beer and snacks. You don't worry anything." And they came to my apartment, with bottles, like 2 liter bottles of beer, and smoked fish. And it was like the whole fish with the eyes, and I'm like looking at it like, "What the hell is this?" And they're like, "Oh, you haven't tried?" And they just start ripping it apart. I'm just like, "Oh my god!" Just peeling the fish apart. You want to try it? No, no, thank you.
It's normal in Chelyabinsk.
Yeah. You go to the beer shops. Yeah, there's a lot of fish, but I had never seen it before. So in the U.S., when you meet with friends to have a couple beers, it's a bag of chips, maybe order a pizza, not a fish with its eyes still there.
Um, so fish impressed you the most.
Impressed? Yeah, from that moment, I was like, okay, I'm gonna live here forever.
Okay, so what surprised you most about everyday life? Not counting fish.
Most about the everyday life.
Yeah, like everyday routine.
M- Maybe that it's almost the same as in the U.S.
You saw that we wake up with the bear.
Yeah, so first thing, shot of vodka is straight to lunch.
Потом утка, talked with bear outside, played balalaika.
No, it's one of the first things my grandmother warned me about when she found out that I was coming to Russia. She was like, "Oh, be careful outside. I've heard there's a lot of bears."
And then you realized that in the USA you had more bears.
Oh, there's a lot more bears in the U.S. Maybe total number of bears in Russia is higher, but Russia's a much bigger country. But I would be willing to bet. I haven't looked at like statistics, but I would be willing to bet there's more bears per square kilometer in the U.S.
And I also remember that your relatives asked you how you wash dishes
Yeah.
and do laundry.
Yeah.
So they thought you went to a river, maybe do laundry with the stone.
But it's one thing that so I had a dishwasher all my life. Just growing up. It's like standard thing in an American kitchen is a dishwasher. And it took some getting used to have to like hand wash the dishes. Same with a dryer. So a dryer, if you don't know what a dryer is, it's a machine that dries your clothes.
Well, now a lot of people in Russia have dryer.
Yeah. But when I first moved to Russia, people asked, "What's one thing you miss the most about the U.S.?" And I would say a dryer. And they'd be like, "A dryer? That's stupid."
No, so not your relatives, a dryer.
Yeah, not my family. I'm just a dryer.
Okay, so what's something small about life in Chelyabinsk that you have grown to really appreciate?
I think I haven't seen these questions before, so I gotta think. Something small that I've grown to appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the pace of life in Chelyabinsk.
What do you mean?
So just the speed of life is much slower than life, in at least in Richmond, Virginia. Maybe some cities in the U.S. Are different. So, by the way, I'm from Virginia. So life in the U.S. is different everywhere. So when I compare, my life in Chelyabinsk to my life in the U.S., I'm only talking about my life in Virginia. If I lived in New York, it would be completely different. But yeah, maybe pace of life, the fact that like you can get from one part of the city to another, and also the safety that just came to my mind. So do you remember one night we were sitting on Kievka Street, and this was when we both lived in the Northwest, and we were sitting on Kievka Street, and it got to around like midnight. It was summertime, weather was great, and so we decided to walk home. And the whole time walking, like I said, it was like midnight. The whole time walking, I'm like looking around. Every person I see, I'm just like, and you're like, why are you so nervous? And I said, like, it's nighttime. It's dangerous. And you're like, nothing's gonna happen. And in my city, if you walked home at night, like your chance of having an issue, very, very high. So
No, we also have such issues in Chelyabinsk, but not so often.
yeah, and of course, not in the center.
And because also people don't wear guns with them.
Yeah, yeah.
No, of course, some people have guns with them, but it's very low percent.
I think the people with guns on them are not going to be on the street robbing.
But it's not like where people robbing with knives.
Yeah, I think if you're using a gun as a criminal, you're doing more high level stuff. Yeah. So safety. I heard that Chelyabinsk in the 90s was completely different.
No, in the 90s, the whole Russia was completely
Yeah.
different. We can compare this time to anything.
Yeah. So, but now it's fine. So yeah, maybe those two things. Pace of life is a lot slower, and just much. It's safe city.
Okay. What do you do for fun there that you probably wouldn't be doing back home?
That's curling.
So you would never play curling at home?
Yeah, so Virginia, it's not a winter city, and I started playing curling because I hate winter, hate it. It's the worst thing. I don't understand how anyone minus 40 is great. I mean, I know everyone is different and it's their preference, but I hate winter, and it was something that it gives me something to do in wintertime. And in my city, we don't have snow. It maybe snows 2 times a year, and it's melted by the next day. So curling, snowboarding, something that I got into. Go into a dacha. I would never in my life go somewhere where someone grows potatoes and have a barbecue while they are, I don't know, watering their potatoes or whatever. So maybe those things. In the U.S., I just go to the beach every weekend, which I miss. Well, no ocean in Chelyabinsk.
Okay. So, what's one stereotype about Russians that turned out to be completely wrong?
I thought you were going to say completely true.
No, and you can say what was completely true.
So, okay, I'll try to think about completely wrong. But
we discussed.
the Bears, yeah. But no, the first thing that comes to mind is, so, you have the stereotype that Russian people aren't friendly. And Russian people are the friendliest people I've ever met. So, of course, when you see them on the street, you're just some random person and you walk up talking to them, they might give you a look like.
But it's also like Chelyabinsk, because as we said at the beginning, Chelyabinsk is an industrial city. It's not tourism city. And like people here, they like didn't get used to. For example, if you go to Sochi, people more open there.
Yeah. But in Chelyabinsk too, they're very friendly people. I mean, once you get to know someone, they're open for anything. It's one interesting thing is the difference between the U.S. and Russia. Like, so in the U.S. we have a lot of friends, but like, it's hard to explain. So we don't ask our friends for help. It's not like part of this thing. So like, if I needed to go to the airport, I would never consider asking a friend to drive me to the airport. In Russia, like they would wake up at 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and drive you to the airport if you asked. They just would not say no. They would drive you to another city to go to the airport if you asked them. And in many cases, they would offer, "Hey, how are you getting to Yekaterinburg? I can drive you if you need." So, and one thing that I could say is not right for everybody. and I hope I don't get in trouble saying this, what's vodka? In general, vodka is a popular drink in Russia.
Yes,
Yeah.
we don't deny this fact.
Yeah. No, I've heard people, oh, no, it's not true. It's not true. So, but yeah, a lot of people prefer vodka. Maybe not drink it all the time, but a lot of people.
And the first people prefer drinking it all the time.
Maybe all the time too.
Alcohol is bad for your health, by the way.
Yeah, it's bad. I think so on YouTube it's posted like it's a warning. Alcohol is bad for your health. No. But you can understand this when you go into Red and White. You know, they have it's a local alcohol shop. Well, I guess it's everywhere now. But you know, they have their alcohol like shelves, and you know, it's like whiskey, tequila, gin, rum, vodka. You know, there's just a lot of different bottles of vodka.
And when you go to a shop, like food shop, on the cash register, they usually have small ones. Like to take with you, you can. We have on sale today this cookie, soap, and vodka.
Or like when you're buying like palmini, and above the palmini is bottles of vodka because it just goes together.
Right. Vodka mixes with anything.
Yeah, I don't like vodka though. It's not for me.
Maybe you just don't know how to properly drink.
Nah, I just prefer not. So with my curling team, we start. So when we do competitions, as punishment, when we lose a game, we should drink vodka.
As
It's
punishment.
punishment, yeah. So for every game we lose at the end of the
I
competition,
think your team was lying to you. They now deliberately
Purposely lose.
choose the game to drink vodka.
maybe.
You should change the strategy.
Yeah.
You should invent different punishment for them.
It's a punishment for me. I'm the captain. I'm the captain of it.
It's only punishment for you.
Yeah, perfect. Miss the shot.
Mm. Okay. So next question. What's something you have done in Chelyabinsk that your American friends wouldn't believe?
That my American friends wouldn't believe.
Yes.
That's a tough question.
I have in my mind the answer, but
All right, let me think. What's your its answer about me?
yes, I have two variants.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
The first one that on Christmas you swam in a cold
Oh yeah.
water.
Yeah. Not what's it called? Krishina.
Крещение.
Yeah. I didn't want to do it. Well, I wanted to do it, but every year when the time came, I was like, it's -20 outside. But I remember as your friends just showed up at the apartment and were like, Brandon, we're outside. Get your swimsuit. Let's go. Okay. But I'm glad I did it. It's like, you know, living in the US, like we see this, you know, we see these videos of like, you know, crazy Russian people swimming in frozen lakes. And so it's something I wanted to do. It's a good experience. And what's the second one?
And the second one, when we went to a salty lake, got lost, and slept in some random guy's house in a village.
I forgot about that. So here's the story of this. So this was a long time ago. It was 10 or 11 years ago. I was new in Russia. And so a group of friends, there are about 10 of us. We had three cars of people. So I guess it was 12 people. We were driving to some lake like far away in the Kurgan region. And there was supposed to be some magical salt lake, good for the skin. You put the mud all over your body. And we got lost. And we couldn't, this was, you know, GPS wasn't good. We didn't have...
You don't have GPS.
Yeah, no.
We had like first person driving by memory.
Yeah. And so it started getting late, and it was dark, and we couldn't find the lake, and so we could see in the distance there was like a small village, and we were like, okay, let's go ask.
And it was really small village with like 11 houses.
Yeah. And so we just found the house. The lights were on. Knocked on the door. Hey, do you know where this lake is? And he was like, oh, it's a little complicated to say, it's late. Why don't you stay in my house? And I'll show you in the morning. And there's 12 of us who are like thinking like this is like some like Texas Chainsaw Massacre type stuff. But we're like, okay, let's do it. And I remember the guy was shocked that there was an American in his house, and he was calling all his friends. I got an American in my house.
And they were bringing all the food they had, like.
Yeah, he woke his wife up. He's like, "Wife, wake up! We have guests, 12 people."
And it was crazy, 12 people with kids. Like, we all came to their house, like, slept there. I don't know what we thought. They could kill us at night.
Yeah.
Because it's like really God forbidden village in the middle of nowhere. Like, I don't know what we thought at that moment.
We were young. Yeah, we were almost on one of those like true crime videos.
Episode.
12 people go to the lake.
And this was my next question, but we answered it. How do people usually react when they find out you're American?
Yeah. Well, there's two ways. Well, three ways. I guess first, people just don't care. But yeah, the other is like really excited, especially if it's like, it happens a lot. I love traveling around the region and visiting small places. And yeah, when I walk into like a small village, mountain village shop, and there's an American there, they're usually in shock. So, and then the other is, there's a third of people who like don't like that I'm American. It's a very, very small number of people, but they're kind of, like I've been places where it can be like one person that just the whole night is just staring at me like, what is this guy doing? So, and especially when there's alcohol involved, we've had a few cases where I don't like confrontation with this, and usually when it happens, I just say, okay, let's go. And you remember we were at a wedding one time, and I noticed as people were drinking more and more, the questions went from like, "Oh, how do you like Russia?" to like, "What do you think about Obama?"
I remember, yes, Obama was the president at that time, and as soon as the topic started about do you like Obama?
Yeah, I went to you. I said we need to go. He said, "Oh, but like it's still early." I said, "No, I think we should go." And we called the taxi and left. And the next day, your friend said, "It's good you left." There was a huge fight about say 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
So, but there was another time where like I was at a bar with friends, and there was a group of guys sitting next to us, and they started getting more and more like aggressive. And normally in this case, I just say let's go, and I told my friends, oh, let's find another bar, and of course they were no, why should we leave because of them? And so I went to the bar, and Russian stereotype, I bought vodka for everybody. Just it was like 10 shots of vodka, and I brought it to my friends, and I brought it to them. And I said vodka from me, and for the rest of the night we were like best friends.
Of course, Russian people have brought vodka. You are almost a part of their family now.
Because then they went and they bought a round of vodka, then my friends bought a round of vodka.
Okay, so if you could go back and give yourself advice about moving, what would it be?
About moving to Chelyabinsk? I don't know. That's a difficult question.
No, for example, you like change mind.
Don't go up. Jump.
Faithful.
Yeah. And I don't know. In general, like I'm happy with the way that everything worked out. Like, I didn't plan to stay here for a long time, and I did, and everything worked good. I don't think I did anything that I would change. So I remember my first apartment. I purposely rented an apartment across the street from McDonald's. But at the time that was because I needed some like American comfort. So
So you would come in the evening, sit in McDonald's.
Yeah, big man.
Yeah. Okay, we have also some questions from people in our chat, so I want to ask them. So, what difficulties did you encounter in Russia?
Mm-hmm.
What difficulties?
So there's the language difficulty,
Of course.
for sure. Um, it can be hard to get like legal things done, like official things done. You know, like I opened a bank account a month ago, and you know, like we had to call the bank and say an American guy is coming in. Like, do you have anyone who speaks English? And they're, yo, we can bring someone from another branch. And what time will we be there? And it's just like it's a lot of like little like maybe bureaucracy type stuff, like the documents and everything can be difficult. It's hard to get a driver's license. So, I have Russian residence, and so I have to follow all the same rules as Russian people. And so to get a Russian driver's license, I have to take the exam in Russian, and I have okay street Russian. You know, like I can say what I want to say most times. I can understand enough. Like I can get what I need to do, but I can't take a driving test. Like the words they use are like this long, and it's like, oh, and I translate and it's like seatbelt, something like that.
No, even Russian people can take drive. There's sometimes theoretical questions.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. If you were writing a book called A Survival Guide for an American in Russia, what would rule number 1 be?
Oh, that's a good question. Whoever wrote that question, good question. Survival guide in Russia. Beware of bears. No, I'm joking. There's no bears. Rule number 1 for survival guide.
If someone is aggressive, buy vodka.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Be friendly, I would say.
I think Americans always friendly.
But there's times where maybe we don't want to be friendly, but we also have to be friendly. I kind of have a rule that like so since I'm American, like I'm almost here representing my culture. And if I'm ever rude to somebody or do something, they're not gonna say, "Oh, that guy is rude." They're gonna say, "Americans are terrible people." And so I just feel that I'm here like, so I would say that's a good survival guide.
Okay. Do you feel that your own English has evolved or adapted in a way over the past 13 years of living in Russia speaking environment?
My English has gotten worse. Yeah.
Maybe you should sign up for course.
Yeah, I should take an English lesson. No, I just I don't use the like official words all the time. And like my like business English level has gotten worse.
Maybe I should start reading books.
So I read books. I do audiobooks.
Mm.
But it's still you have to use it. It goes back to our previous episode. We're talking about like you have to speak. And so, you know, I can hear these big words, read these big words, but, you know, I don't say them because if I tell them to anyone, no one's going to know what I'm talking about.
Michael would know that.
Do you remember when we were in England and we had the like business meeting, and it was I was talking to the head of like very prestigious private school, and it was me and him basically talking, and it was you and 2 of our business partners, all Russian, just sitting like. Because it was just strictly business English. And I remember after, it wasn't you who said it, but our business partner was like, that wasn't English. That was a completely different language.
Okay, what's the American dream?
What's the American dream? So the American dream is the idea that anyone can become anything. So that you can move to the US, that you can and it's really a lot of people confuse it. The American dream is that actually that your kids can achieve anything. So by moving, and this was, you know, in the 1800s, you know, very, very, very poor immigrants from Italy or from Europe would come to the US. They would have a terrible life, but it gave their kids the opportunity to be a lawyer, have a house and family and everything. So I think that's the American dream.
Okay, what it means in the eyes of an American?
In the eyes of an American? I need to know the context of that.
I don't know.
So maybe it has to do with patriotism. We're a very patriotic country. So whoever wrote that, maybe write me and give me more context. I can answer it in the next episode.
What are the characteristics that distinguish an American from any other nationality?
We like burgers. No.
Now I think the full world like.
Yeah. So we are very optimistic people, as you probably know. I think I represent that side of Americans very well. I'm a super optimistic person. And I think it just comes from our blood. You know, like our ancestors who moved to the US, they were all poor. You know, you didn't get a lot of like rich, wealthy people like, oh, let me give up my life in England and move to the US. So we're all poor, but our ancestors had this dream of like, I'm gonna go and life is gonna be great. Life is gonna be better. So because of that, just in general, we're optimistic people.
Okay. So I think we should finish for today. And also, if you have any other questions, you can always ask them in the comments, and we can start other video answering 1 or 2 questions.
Yeah, we can do this more. 30 minutes was not a lot to answer like questions. I couldn't get deep into many things that I wanted to answer.
Yes.
Yeah. So all right, yeah. So if you're not following our Telegram channel, I invite you to follow our Telegram channel and follow our VK channel. We post a lot of information about our school and about these podcasts as well. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.
And sign up for summer camps.
Sign up for summer camps. We have some room left. So thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.